night to light. Inner circles here where voices thrive. Turn on your screens, let the magic unfold. Listening and healing as stories are told. Come on, this is your time. No topics too tough, just heed the calls. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. Inner Circle podcast where hearts unite. Sharing our truths, bringing hope to the light. Community strong, we're never alone. Together as one, we've created a home. With laughter and love, we break down the walls. No topics too tough, just heed the calls. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. So join the conversation, let's set the tone. In a circle.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Inner Cycle podcast. It's been after a long holiday weekend. We took I don't know how many days off. We took Thursday and Monday off, and then Friday obviously was the holiday. So we've been gone for a minute, So today is our first day back. Today is Tuesday, July 8th. July 8th. Summer, man, summer is running by so fast. So tonight we are doing a summer check-in. How's it going so far? How's your summer going? Have you been busy? What have you been up to? Have you been traveling? If you have kids, what have you been doing with the kids? Are the kids bored? Everything. We just want to check into the how's your summer. We in the Midwest, as my man Peterson can attest to, it's 3 months, and this stuff flies by like you wonder, man, where did the summer go? So I'm your host Abe Kamara, and welcome, as I said, to another episode of this Inner Circle podcast. We here 5 days a week. And today's our first day back after a long holiday weekend. My man Peterson, man, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Ed, and welcome back to the show, everybody. This is Peterson from the Windy City, from the Shy, and like Ed said, can't believe someone started just like 2 weeks ago officially, but it seems like it's been here for a minute. So before you look up, it's gonna be gone already, and the kids will be going back to school. Those who have kids, and it's the same cycle. Then we work fall. Those of us in the Midwest will go from summer straight to winter
Yep,
sometimes.
yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep.
let's have a conversation.
Definitely, definitely. So, folks, you can contribute to the conversation tonight by putting a comment in the chat. Let us know how's the summer going. Have you been busy? What have you been up to? Traveling? Anything? Let us know, or you can call our number 817-600-1525. Peterson, man, as you said, right? It just seems like yesterday for me that someone just started, right? You said like 2 weeks ago, officially it just started. Obviously, May, the weather start getting nice, folks start getting out there, but then the kids still be in school, right? Especially here in the Midwest. Early June they get out of school, but then it's July. Before you go look next month, right? It's back to school shopping, and other stuff. In other places like Texas and other states, right? Like kids go back to school in August. But how should it's like so mine has been like my summer since my kids got out of school, it's been like very much eventful, right? It's like doing stuff here and there, It's like so but I feel like it's July 8th. Before you know it, it's gonna be August. How's your summer going though? I mean, how's yours going?
Yeah, that's a great point. For me, this year my kids got out of school a little bit, I guess, early. You can say,
Okay.
because usually it's like the first week of June
Yeah.
or like the last week in May. But this year they got out before what was that, Memorial Day? No,
Hmm.
so they got out. I think the week before Memorial Day. That's when they got out of school. And since they got out, uh, I haven't done any traveling,
Hmm.
but we took a trip like the end of the spring, right before school can end.
Okay.
But as far as events, I have them involved in different things. So I have the two older ones in swim class. So
Okay.
2 days
Yeah.
a week, I take them to swim lessons, and then I just signed up the other day for like bowling, just like to
Okay.
help them do something.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
I can take them bowling once in a while, and it was a great deal. It's a program. It's like kids bowl free, but
Okay.
there's a caveat to it. Of course, you're not just going to walk into a bowling alley and bowl for free. So you pay something upfront, but then every time you take a kid that you put on that list, you get a bowl, like 2 games for free. And if you want to do it every single day, you can do it every day, but it's just that one time fee you pay. And then I have the two younger ones. So the middle and the youngest one, I have them in like summer programs. I wanted to
Okay.
do the
Yeah.
same for the oldest one, but I was late
Okay.
because this year I didn't really know when they were going to get out of school.
Sure,
So
sure, sure. Yeah.
I was at work one day, and he's like, "Oh, tomorrow's the last day of school." I'm like, "No, it's not. What do you mean the last day of school?" So I went to the school website, and sure enough, it was the last day of school, as he said. So I didn't have time to actually prepare to get him in like the
Yeah.
summer program where they take them to like libraries or to the zoo and stuff like that. So for him, he's mostly at home now, but I try to do like school or educational activities with him. So
Hmm.
there are free resources out there. So
Yeah.
sometimes, like, hey, do 20 minutes of math or do 20 minutes
Yeah.
of reading and stuff like that before you go riding your bike in the neighborhood and things like that. So, but other than that, the summer is going good. It's been really hot this year. Like
Yeah.
this
Okay.
is
Yeah.
the hottest years that I can remember
Okay.
in
Okay.
recent years. It's been
Yeah.
hot, and of course we're in the Midwest, so it's that bipolar weather. Like it was crazy. It rained in the night, and
Uh-huh.
then in the morning, I'm like, oh, let me put something on the grill for the 4th of July weekend. I was out there, it started to rain. So I
Oh
got
man.
everything and brought it back inside. Then the sun came out, it dried up. I'm like,
Oh
okay, let
man.
me go back out. I try to go back out, it started to rain. I'm like,
I
okay,
never did it. Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Yep.
so
That's the Midwest for you right there, right? I mean, it's like obviously as you said, the bipolar weather. So, but we have to deal with it year in and year out. But one
mhm,
of the thing though, right? I think as a parent here is like you got me feeling guilty because my kids this year, right? I have struggled, right? Even finding something for them is like so they are so much into they have been so much into their phones. So I struggle. Okay, it's like okay, my little one is in gymnastics. She
yeah,
goes there like twice a week.
okay,
But it's in the evening, and that's like Monday and Thursday. And then the older one about to be in high school, right? Is that she's going to high school. So this summer, the plan was for her to according to her, she wanted to work,
yep, yep,
apply for like Chick-fil-A and do some stuff.
hmm
But that hasn't been successful. And I'm telling you every day, well, summer is about to
it's about
summer,
to be over
summer is running,
already.
summer is running that fast, And in the high school she's going to, I mean, it open like end of August. So it's like before
Mhm.
you know it, right? She only has like a month and
Yep,
a
a month
half,
and a half. Yep.
and I've struggled like to kind of like get them in kind of any kind of a meaningful activity, right? Like my daughter love water, so it's like I could have done the same thing, maybe I put her in some swimming class, even though she have pretty much taught herself how to swim,
Yep.
right? But I have not done like much for them. I feel like okay, but summer's going by
Almost
so
just
fast. So
yep.
I
It's
need
going by
to
so
figure out
fast.
something, right? Before the year began, the plan was maybe we could do some travels, but it's like things life have been so busy. We have
Of
not been
course.
able to do any kind of a meaningful travel, and then their cousin is 2016 in August, and so the mom and everybody, are taking, going to Hawaii, you know what I mean, and
Oh,
stuff like that,
nice.
right? So preparing for such a huge trip, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've been trying to, figure out, how to navigate out of that, but I think it got me feeling guilty, man. It's like I don't have enough activity, and they are so into the phone. And then something, okay, if I
Yeah.
take the phone from them, they're gonna be bored, right?
Right.
It's like, but I need to figure out a way to get them off the screen, and I
Yeah.
think, that's something, the remaining time that we have, remaining time for the summer. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's something I need to get my, I need to get my act together pretty soon, or else,
Yeah.
right? They might, they might have, or at that summer they say. it will go by so fast, and it won't
Yeah.
be like it will be. It's a boring summer basically. So far, it's
It,
been a
it
boring
sure
summer for me.
will be. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, the same thing with mine. I
Mhm.
have to find ways to, like you said, get them off the screen. So sometimes I'm like, let's all go out for like ice cream or something,
Mhm,
because
mhm, mhm,
if they're
mhm.
just in the house, and that's the thing too. During our time, summer break, man, we out playing. For me, I was out playing basketball like 10 hours a day. When once I'm done with housework, I'm out there until it gets dark before I come
Yeah,
back in. But for them, they have so many devices, so many screens. Like my son, he has a phone, he has a tablet, then there's a
yeah,
TV, a video
yeah,
game,
yeah.
Roblox, Roblox, Roblox,
Yeah,
Roblox,
with
Roblox.
with his friends, right? Is that they communicate with their friends all day,
Yep,
every day. You know what I mean? So
every
you
day.
be wondering, okay, what are you guys? Why would I talk to someone like from 9 a.m. up to 1 a.m.? It's like, really? What? Why would I be doing that? You know what I mean? As
Exactly.
you said, there's no time for them to go out. So the weather is nice.
Hmm.
Especially we in the Midwest here, right? It's like once the winter comes, they are indoor all the time. So now is the time for them to get outdoors, do stuff. But man, these days, for those that have kids, for those that have family, man, the kids these days, they are just not into the outdoor activity. And I think
Nope.
something that it is something we as parents, especially immigrant parents, really, really need to work towards, right?
Yep.
Because it's like other than that, it's like you see, like you go to most parents' house, like the kids are just into their what devices.
Exactly. Yep. They're
Everybody
in the
into their
room, locked up
devices.
in their room, just sitting on
Yeah,
devices.
everybody into their devices. The man, okay, what do you guys do 24/7? Is that all you do and things like
That's
that? But that has been the struggle so far. I mean, and stuff like that. As I said, summer goes by so fast. You're wondering, is the okay? How am I going to even like figure out what to do? Back in the days, to your point, right? Our parents or our guardians don't have to tell us to go outside to play
yep.
basketball.
Yep.
To call your friends in the neighborhood,
Yep.
do
And go
what's
walking to
happening,
like the
what's good.
mall or something.
Yeah, definitely, do something, do some outdoor activities and all those stuff. But it's just not kids these days, right? It's just hard for them to do that. But besides the kids though, right? Like you as a whole, what time are you finding for yourself to do any kind of activity? Are you going to like events like maybe on weekends or on weekdays? Are you doing anything for yourself to keep your summer going?
Yeah, that's another. That's one thing that I'm struggling with personally, because like if when I get off work, I have to like get her or attend
Yeah,
to the kids.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
uh, I make their leisure time or playtime more of a priority than mine. And I do have things that I've planned, especially like since my anniversary is like in the summertime, it's in August. I
Okay.
usually plan to either take a trip or do something with my wife. But this year we haven't really done anything.
Yeah.
So what I plan, I'm gonna bust my secret out on live, is, is to start taking her out on her weekend off when
Yeah.
she's off like that, so that we can just go out if it's to like a show or some type of event or something like that, so we can do it. So like you said, before you look, and if she's off every other weekend, that's 2 weekends in a month, and we got like
Yeah.
almost 2 months left for the summer already. So
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, I have
Yeah.
to get my act together.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Though. And the thing about it, right, man, there's so much big going on. You know what I mean in these cities. Like when I was in Philadelphia this going weekend for my brother daughter graduation, right? And then even in Philly, they had a festival, a street
Mhm.
festival. But sometimes as it so there's so much big going on, but because sometimes in our communities, man, you have like maybe barbecues, you have this event, that event. We don't even take the time to explore like other activities or events that are
True.
going on right within our cities, right? It's like and
Mhm.
sometimes before we know it, it's the same thing we keep doing over
Over
and
and over.
over and
Yep.
over and over. And sometimes that summer comes and goes by without God, where did my summer go? Right? Because you're doing the same thing over and over, and sometimes with the same old people. But you will be amazed how like there'll be like so many. We have talked about festival here. As I said, in Philadelphia, there was it's a nice. I mean, I forgot what it's called, but it's a nice street festival.
Hmm.
And me, Elder Cool J should have performed, but he did cancel. He did
Okay.
because there was a strike going on currently in the city of Philadelphia, where the city employees are striking. and things like that. So that's that aspect of it. But it's like the point I'm trying to make, that there be so much activity in these various cities that we don't really take the time to really explore them. So the thing that
Mhm.
you're trying to do with your madam, I think that's a great opportunity, right? To check out what's out there
Yep.
besides, this Liberian barbecue, or, or all these things, going to them 24/7,
Mhm.
and not doing something else, you know.
Yeah. And with everything that goes on, and of course, it's amplified in the media, but I mean, it's not like one instance where you have these violence that are happening in the summertime, not in the summertime, but whenever there's like a huge gathering of people. So for
Hmm.
that reason, even for the 4th of July, we wanted to go to like to the city, to
Yeah.
either North Avenue Beach or some like
Hmm.
downtown
Hmm.
Chicago. And my wife's like, yeah, we're not going
You're
to
not
Chicago.
venturing out there, right? Yeah,
We're not going out there because you don't know what's going to happen. And I mean, are those events that you usually hear or see on the internet about these
Hmm.
things
Hmm.
that go on? Although it can happen anywhere, but it has a higher propensity of happening at large gatherings.
No, for that, I mean, obviously, I agree, right? And it's summertime. I think a couple of weeks ago we had a police chief from Broken Park here, and then
Hmm.
like talking about gun violence during the summer. That is something like, in the United States, right? Summer, every city in this country, like summertime, you'd be
Yeah.
wondering what these kids be up to, right? Just be shooting, you know, like just even in Broken Park here, in Broken Park, in Minnesota, a week about a week ago now, a kid, a 16, 17-year-old kid, Liberian American kid, got shot and killed. You know what I mean? And things like that. These things, like, I mean, sometimes they are random. Sometimes, it's like, I don't know what these kids be up to at times, right? But to your point, that is something that definitely can bring about fear,
Yep.
in folks to go to gathering. But it can happen anywhere in this country. If you're afraid of
Yeah.
gun, what I mean, stuff that got to your point. It can happen anywhere. It can happen even in your own home. It can be in your peaceful home. Somebody can walk there. Some lunatic can come there and say, you know what? It's like just it's a crazy stuff, right? It's
Yeah.
that because there's so much guns, you have so much gun in this country, and folks can just do whatever they want to do at times,
Mhm.
So, but obviously, right, that's a legitimate fear for folks to have, not to, maybe venture out. But that shouldn't stop you from
Of
doing
course.
what you gotta do,
But still
because
enjoying
if
life.
it, if they stop people do what they do, you will not do anything in this country, because there are
You'll be
guns
crippled by fear
everywhere.
and
I
just
mean, I
sitting at
ain't
home.
kidding. Yeah, there are guns everywhere, and nowhere to safe. But as we are, as I said, July 8th, summer is gonna be out of here. What has been the highlight of your summer so far? Though I know you said you haven't done much, but if you looking at your summer so far, what has been the highlight? And what are you looking forward to the last few couple of months? I know with the Madame, obviously, and your anniversary coming up, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking up to just having spending more time with my wife and the kids. And like I said, planning if it's a trip. Uh, it's probably most likely going to be like a road trip,
Okay.
just for us to take like a week or something and just drive to some place and do some sightseeing. But as far as what we've done over the summer, like I said, the summer it just barely started, but it seems like it's been it's been so long already
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
this year it kind of started early with the weather and everything.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we haven't really done much. I have above ground pool that I was reluctant to kind of put up this year, but I put it up. So sometimes the kids will get in there. And in my neighborhood, a lot of people have pools. So uh, if they don't want to get in there, or if I tell them like, "Hey, I haven't treated it with chemicals here, so
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
go to one of your friends' house and go swim." So they'll go there, and that's been the highlight, just keeping them busy. And since I didn't get all of them into summer program, I was able to talk to my supervisor to
Hmm.
kind of work from home. Although it's not full time working from home, I do go to the office like once in a while now, and I'm supposed to be going 3 days a week and two at home. But since there's nobody to watch the kids, I use that as an excuse. It's not an excuse, but yeah, yeah, but yeah, that's what we've been up to. Not much, just chilling here.
I have the same dilemma, right? It's like I'm supposed to go to the office. I mean, you're bringing some great here today. I'm supposed to go to the office 3 days a week, but right now I don't have anyone to, especially the little ones, right? It's
Yep.
like I don't have anyone to be to be there with the kids right now. So I'm about to. Okay, I've been trying to juggle it. Sometimes you take the
Hmm.
risk. You know what? I'll be right back. Don't bother with this.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Don't
it's
answer the
risky.
door.
Yeah, it's risky, right? And something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm about to tell my manager, I say, hey man, just for the summer, right? With the remaining
Hmm.
months, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. If I can just have the opportunity to, be at home, pretty much the remaining July and August.
Yeah,
And then, obviously once to get back in school,
yeah. It's
I can
back to
definitely
yeah,
I can definitely, fulfill my 3 day obligation, definitely, and
yeah,
stuff like that. But, I think Andrea bringing a great point here, for folks, that's a thing though, right? For folks looking to find activity for children this summer, check this out. Yeah, Andrea will definitely share this. But that's the thing, I think most of us, especially in our immigrant community, we struggle to find activity for our kids, right? Do struggle to find what it is. I mean, kudos to you, Peterson, for finding out, a couple of activities, especially for your two little ones. But most of us struggle with that, right? To find what it is. And the other thing too, not that we struggle to find it, but man, everything is pricey, right? You also look at the price, right? You have to pay
yes,
for these things. And
yep,
then like, God, you know what? I'd rather than maybe stay at home, right? Instead of being like if I have to pay for gymnastics, I have
yep,
to pay for swimming lesson, I have to
hmm,
pay for maybe some summer camp somewhere. It becomes so expensive, right? It's like,
yep, yep,
and when these kids are also home, man, all the like you have your refrigerator, right, has to be full all the time. It has to
yes,
I mean, your grocery bill actually spike up during the summer months
that's true.
because it's
That
like
is
you're
true.
always in the refrigerator,
Hmm.
always in the
Hmm.
pantry, in the refrigerator, every
Hmm.
minute, every day, every second. You say, wondering, okay. And then once it's not there, they say, oh God, we are run out of this. We need to do
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
you know, so that's the thing too. It's like fun is it's not that you don't want to find something for them, man, but I think during these summer months, it gets become so expensive. What's your experience?
no, that is absolutely true because it's not like the programs are not available or things are not there. But like you said, finding something that's affordable
Yeah.
because if you try to put them in all these different activities to keep them busy, it's going to like add up because I don't know if it's a summer surcharge or like something
Mm-hmm.
they do
Mm-hmm.
because for like the swim class they go through the park district. So
Okay.
with that one is a little cheaper. But to try to keep them in there, they will always say, yeah, they're doing good, but they need this, they need one more
They need
lesson.
the next level.
They're
Need
doing
this
good, but
next
they need one
level.
more lesson. So you
Yeah.
have to keep paying for that. And to your point about kids and uh, them basically draining the refrigerator, like my
In
oldest
the
son,
factory, yeah.
he doesn't
Yeah.
eat, but every second he's opening the fridge, opening the fridge, opening the fridge, and even down to the little one. Your worker is like, "Can you please make me something to eat? What do you want to eat?" I don't know. I'm like, "There's stuff to eat.
Yeah.
What do you want to eat?" And he doesn't. And when if I make the offer, do you want this? No, I don't want that. Okay, then what do you want? I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, it's expensive to just raise kids in general, but over the summer it even adds up with all the different activities that you try to get them in because everything's expensive,
Yeah.
especially nowadays. Everything's expensive.
Yeah. Well, folks, tonight on the Inner Circle podcast, we are discussing summer check-in. Today is Tuesday, July 8th. The 4th of July is over. There's three main holidays I can say in the summer, right? It's like there's the Memorial Day, there's July 4th, and then basically once Labor Day comes around,
Yep.
summer is over. Basically, summer is over. And right now we just got done with July 4th. So tonight we are doing a summer check-in, right? How's your summer going? What have you been up to? Have you been traveling? Have you been spending time with family? Like my man Peterson is doing up there in Chicago. Have you been, going to all the community barbecues, making sure, checking them out. Have you tried festival? Have you gone maybe like taking a road trip? Have you gone to another city? Let us know. You can put a comment in the chat or call our number 817-600-1525. And also, if you have family, if you have kids, how are you keeping the kids busy? Are you like me? Just right now, they are just on screen time, nothing, no activity, pretty much. Or like my man Peterson, who got them in on different activities and things like that, just to keep them busy. So let us know how you're doing. Or Peterson, the one of the other dynamic, as I said, especially here in the Midwest, summer is so short. I can say it's very short. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like you don't even know how to plan for it, right? It's like, and then the other thing, like my highlights of my summer so far, the kids and I have traveled once. We went to my sister son graduation in Cleveland,
Okay.
and then just this gone weekend, right? We went to Philadelphia. They couldn't go with me actually to Philadelphia. I went by myself. But those are the only like two meaningful events I've had the whole summer, basically, right? Nothing else. We have not taken any kind of a family travel, right? Any kind of a meaningful family travel wherein like you can just have, sometimes you just have those moments with your kids, with your family, wherein they're so relaxing, you're having fun, they're enjoying themselves, and say, oh wow, that is really something.
Yeah.
And especially like considering we are in the Midwest here, right? It's somewhere so short. Sometimes you long for that, but it's just like there's no time. If you want to maybe like do a road trip or travel somewhere, you're talking about the expenses, maybe like hotel or maybe like, trying to do something. So when you add all of those things together, you say, you know what, maybe we might just take this summer off. You know what I mean? And things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Uh, One of the things that I plan so far, but we haven't done yet, and I already scheduled it, is to go to Wisconsin Dells. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people will be like, "Why Wisconsin Dells? You guys have other things in like Illinois or the Chicago area," but to just get out of the environment. So
Yeah.
it's going to be for a few days, I think 2 or 3 days. That we're going to go to the Great Wolf Lodge in Wisconsin Dells, and that would be like their summer trip. Besides the one that I have planned, maybe in
Mm-hmm.
August for the whole family. But yeah, it's like before you. To your point about the summer being so short here in the Midwest, usually it will be cold all the way until like the unofficial start of summer, which is Memorial Day. That's the unofficial start around here. And sometimes it's cold around Memorial Day, and then when you get into it will be cold until
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
July. Then
Yeah.
July
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
August,
Yeah.
that's it. Then after that, it's like okay, they got to go
Yeah.
back to school, and then it
Yeah.
starts to get
Yeah.
cold again. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's hard to sometimes plan what to do for the summer. And a lot of people sometimes will say, okay, the kids go to school for what 10 months or 9.5 months. Let them rest for like the next three
Yeah.
months. But with the kids these days, like my little daughter would come from, I'll pick her up from like the summer program. She will go
Mm-hmm.
to swimming class. It's 2 days a week. But then she's like, can we go do something? I'm like, what else do you want to do? She's like, I'm so bored. I'm like, are you serious? Like, what do you want from me? So
Yeah. I do what you do.
to keep them like occupied because their brain is just running
Yeah. Yeah.
an hour. So
Yeah. One thing I wanted to bring though, do you think that our community, right, in our immigrant community, do you think parents or even us, right, do you think like a lot of immigrant families, do you think are we taking enough time to maybe give our kids the experience of maybe travel or just doing something, as you said, to your point, outside of our various comfort zone, like you taking, planning to take your family to Wisconsin to,
yeah,
even if it's for the weekend, you know, even if it is for the weekend, do you think we are doing those kind of things enough? I don't think so because since some a lot of families where the kids sometimes the kids are not already in activity, but then the opportunity for them just to take a weekend with them, right? To go somewhere and just have that, just for them to experience a different environment, get out of their comfort zone, get up those screens. Do you think we do that enough in our communities?
no, we do not, and that's one of the things when it comes to immigrant community and immigrant families. We
Mhm.
think because we're working two jobs or we like we're working to try to put them in this neighborhood or get them into this place, that yeah, that is what they're going to cherish. No, the time that, even if it's just one day in the month
Hmm.
that you
Hmm.
take for with your kids, you don't have to do anything expensive. You
Yeah.
go like we this
Yeah, I mean, it's like the point you were, I mean, the point you're trying to make, I think, it don't have to be anything expensive. It can be very, very local. It can be
yep,
something very, very local, right?
yep,
Like, like even, I know, like you talk about Wisconsin Dells. I mean, Wisconsin Dells is right between you and I here, right? Wisconsin Dells, beautiful place, right? I mean, it's like it's beautiful, and a lot of other great places you can just like maybe like take them 1 hour, 2 hour away to a
yep.
nice maybe like local resort, right? You know, they can just
Hmm.
go and have fun, do have some relaxing time. You just want to do that, right? It's like sometimes both you and them, you're just kind of getting away from maybe like the basic life, where in like experiencing a different environment. The fact that we don't do that enough, and to your point, right? Okay, we're working, doing all these things, paying these bills, doing that, and sometimes all about like someone will invite us to maybe like a barbecue somewhere, maybe in Phoenix or somewhere, right? We'll take all that time to go, right? We'll buy
That's
like
true.
expensive tickets, we'll buy expensive ticket to attend these events,
Yeah.
but we do not take the time to, do activities with our kids,
Hmm.
most of the time in our community. And that's something, to your point, I think that's something we really, really need to work on. But how? How can we work on it? Because sometimes most of the excuses, oh, we don't have the money, we don't have the resources.
Yeah. So there are things that are available in each person's community
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
environment that you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to do. And like I said, it's just about spending the time with your kids or with family. So uh, you can, if it's a road trip, you can rent a car. If you rent a car, if you don't want to use the car, like those big rental car
Mm-hmm.
services, you can do Turo. Turo, you can rent anybody's car. You
Yeah,
can rent
yeah,
somebody's like
yeah.
2010 van, and they're gonna charge you maybe $30 or $40 per day to rent it. All you have to do is fill it up with gas and make sure you bring it back in the condition that you took it in. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you don't have to think about, oh, this is going to cost so much, or plan expensive outings before you can say, oh yeah, I have to do something that will cost so much for them to remember. No, it's just about spending that time with them. So even if it's going to during the fall, what we like to do sometimes is go to like the apple orchard. So we'll
Yeah,
go out there
yeah.
to the orchard, and we'll spend the whole day at the orchard. You can pick as much as you can that can fit in your bag, but at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, you can eat as much as you can, apples and things while you're out there at the orchard. So there are affordable family activities that people can do. We just have to, I don't want to say find the time, because the time is there.
Yeah,
Most times we try to make the excuse like, oh, we don't have time. There's nobody that works 24 hours a day. You
yeah.
will have like some time on your hands. If it's your day off, you don't have to do something that would be stressful to say,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, I've been working 6 days a week and I just want to relax today. And this, because of these kids, I got to get up and go something. You have to think of it as investment. You are investing
Yeah.
time and making memories, because those are things that they will actually remember and they will cherish. If you just working to pay bills and you are in the house, but you are there physically, but you're not there,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we always
yeah.
say here, is they're not going to remember that tomorrow when they grow up. They'll be like, oh, my parents didn't take us nowhere. They didn't do anything for us and
Yeah,
stuff like that. So,
yeah, definitely. The two things about summer, sometimes that can happen, right? Summer can get so overwhelming at times, right?
yep.
Summer gets overwhelming at times because, like, as I said, there's so much, sometimes there's so much activity going on. You want to be part of all the activities. And the other thing, sometimes just the mental break, right? If you have a family and then there's so much going on. So it just needs, so even taking the time away, it just create that, to me, it's good for your mental health, right? Taking that time away with your family anyway. And to your point, there's so many state and there's so many national parks in this country. There's so many state parks in this country, right? Like there's so many resources. maybe the thing is we are not educating ourselves about these resources enough, right? To know about them because sometimes you don't have to break the bank to take a trip to like a national park with your family where in that you can just go camping, right?
Hmm.
Simple things, simple activities. If the other folks, if the Caucasian are doing that, why are we not doing it? You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, and this country is so beautiful, right? There's so many aspects of this country. The country is so beautiful, but we are not taking enough time. And summertime is when it's really good to explore, right? To explore
Definitely.
this country. The Vero Parks is like
Yeah.
just like the road trip, to a local state park. Like one of the things we're working on here to bring Minnesota Department of Natural Resources because they have so many things right that they can point to, right? As I
Mhm.
said, like in Minnesota, one of the biggest things folks like to do is to go to the cabin. Every weekend here, right? Is that folks go to the cabin. How
Yeah.
many of us are taking the opportunity to like and you can go and rent a cabin for something for a little or nothing on a
Hmm.
lake,
Yep.
on a lake, right? And things like that. If you get, on a lake, it's not going to break the bank. I said it's only like a 1 or 2 hour drive away. We just see that natural beauty, right? It just take the kids away from from that comfort zone they are used to and put it in a different environment. Like just spend that quality time with them. And I think we don't do that enough. And once we get the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources on here, one of the questions I'm curious to ask them, what outreach are they doing to like immigrant communities to make sure that they can explore these, they can take advantage of all these, the natural wonders, the natural beauty in this country, right? I mean, even like maybe the Illinois, I mean, huge state, there's a lot of, things to do there, but we just don't do it enough, or we
Yeah.
don't even do it at all.
We don't. And sometimes it makes me think for immigrants or more especially people from like West Africa, I don't know if it's because we don't have that exploratory mindset to be like curious about like, oh, can I do this? Can I do this? Because many times when people think of anything like adventurous or going out, the first thing that comes to my mind, oh, how much is it going to cost? How much, man, how much am I going to spend? Okay, I have like 3 kids and then my wife and that, so that's a family of 5. What's it going to cost? We need to like get away from that mindset and think of the benefit. Like you said, it's a mental break. So if you
Mhm.
uh, all day I'm sitting in front of a computer screen at work, whether I'm in the office or at home, I'm sitting in front of a screen. So if I get a day off, like, hey, that I don't have to like bother with anything about work, that's actually relaxing for me. Even if
Yeah.
I'm doing other things with my kids or going, as long as work is not on my mind, like, oh man, I have this other spreadsheet, I have to do this, I have to do this.
Mhm.
It's a way to de-stress and relax and then re-energize yourself and get back to the grind. But many times we just think like, oh, how much is it going to cost me? It's going to cost so much. And like you said, summertime is the best time to explore this country because many of the national parks or many of the beautiful places to go, you don't want to jump in the car in the middle of winter to say you driving to one of these national parks. First, you will probably freeze in the car on your way there.
Yeah.
But it's not daylight. We don't have enough daylight during the like winter time and stuff like that. So when
Mhm.
it's summer, it's time to get out there. And like we're saying, you don't have to go 4 or 5 hours away, 10 hour and drive to like Yellowstone National Park right within your state. And we said this on one of the episodes before. There are things that you can find right in your own backyard to do,
Mhm.
but we don't have this uh, many times I say it's because we are lazy. The
Mm,
information
yeah.
is there, the resources are available, but we don't go out seeking the information. Like you said, if yesterday one of my wife's co-workers, they have a boat, so the chain of lakes around
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we did yesterday. I got off work early. Me and the kids,
Yeah.
we were on the waters, going from one lake to the other. My
Yep.
my little daughter, my son, he got a chance to even drive like the boat and stuff like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I came from there, I'm like, wait, they got boat rentals like literally 1 minute away from where I live over here. So
Yeah.
like over the summer on the weekends when my wife is up, since she gets up like in the afternoon and
Mm-hmm,
we still
mm-hmm.
have time, I can go and rent a boat and we can go on the lake and stuff like that. So there are things that you can do. You just have to get out of your comfort zone and think like, okay, what can I do? Search for information, whatever interests you. If it's because a lot of black people are afraid of water. If you don't want to do anything over the water, you can find things to do on land.
Online, yep, 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 yeah. I mean, yeah, so you can find things and a lot of things, man. A lot of interesting things, lot of beautiful things to do. As I said, during the summer months, whether on water or inland or whatever it on land and things like that. So, folks, tonight we are doing a summer check-in. How's your summer going? Have you been traveling? Are you having fun? Are you facing pressures, right? Financial pressure, family pressure. Are you overwhelmed? What are you doing, to relax this summer? Are you having fun? Are you traveling, and things like that? So let us know. Put a comment in the chat or call our number 817-600-1525. If you could find a favorite place to go during the summer, what's one of your let's take it I mean, let's stay within the boundaries of North America, right? It's like one place you would like to actually visit during the summer. What would that be for you?
Yeah, for me, uh, I'll probably do somewhere or places that I haven't been yet, and I haven't really gone to the West Coast that much.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Besides
mm-hmm.
like Washington State and then Arizona, but like the Grand Canyon,
Yeah,
Yellowstone National Park,
yeah,
Yosemite, like those places on the West Coast. I would
yeah.
like to visit those places if I get the chance. So I mean, with our summer being so short, it's not something I can be like, oh man, you know what? This weekend, since my wife is off,
Yeah, let's go.
no, it's something that you have to plan
Have to
ahead
plan,
of
yeah.
time for that. But yeah, it's something that I would like to do.
Yeah. Mine will be, and I think maybe like having the opportunity is like I'm kind of a cutoff between the same weekend or the same weekend. uh my my ex-sister-in-law daughter is turning 16,
Yeah.
right? When we're supposed to go to Hawaii, it's the same, might be the same weekend my friends graduating, but fortunately for me, right, they're only doing it for one day, go to the
Okay.
graduation and come back.
Hmm.
So now I say, you know what? I think it's an opportunity to go to Hawaii. I haven't been to Hawaii before. So Hawaii is beautiful. So the kids and I are looking forward to that, right? It's like just to go and like and see, as I said, this country is like, so I'm looking forward to that,
Okay.
right? Even though right during the summer months it might be hot, it might be, might not be like maybe like where when winter is cool, but just go and see that part of America, right? It's
Hmm.
like different environment, different scenery, and just go and relax with the kids, goof off, do some fun stuff,
Yeah.
do some sightseeing and things like that. As I said, my little one loved the water, so she can't wait. She's looking forward to it definitely. A
Okay.
few days and things like that. But that's one of the places I haven't been before.
Mhm.
I would like to go. And to your point as well, right, about the West Coast. Like, I mean, I've spent all my life in the Midwest, been
Right.
to, a
Hmm.
couple of states around here. But I have not been to the West Coast. And that's something I said. There's so many beauties out there as well, right? California, man, is like, you know, I would just like to see these different cities, right? Like people have been to I have been there once where I took my kids about 2 or 3 years ago now. I took them to Disneyland. But
Okay.
that's like, how like you just get to the
Yeah.
airport, drive to Disneyland,
And then you stay in the whole
from
resort the
Disneyland,
whole time.
and then from Disneyland, yeah, you spend all your time. You
Hmm.
spend all your time there. Right after that, you come back. Get on your flight and fly back. Right. So I don't call that. I don't say like I've seen. I say I've
Yeah,
seen Disneyland. I've not seen California for what California. You,
that's
you,
true.
yeah, definitely. So those. So I do agree with you. It's like I would like to explore the Midwest as well. And those are things to your point earlier, we have to be intentional about in our community. But you have
Yep.
to make time. If you can make time to attend, like sometimes, you know, these little events, right? Please, I said, someone will invite you, maybe because you haven't seen your friends for a while, to a little event out of state. It might cost you $500. You take, a 600 airline tickets and then maybe rent a car and hotel. You are taking your time to go there, but you don't take your time to kind of maybe that just do some,
Hmm.
exploration on your own, right? Like it doesn't, we have to be intentional about it, especially when you have family and you don't have to do it to break the bank. So that's what I'm looking forward to, this summer. Going to Hawaii, celebrate. A little girl's like my daughter, it's like
Yeah.
she and my kids are always together. So
Okay.
looking forward to that. Going there to celebrate her 16th birthday. I know it's gonna be fun. I said my kids can't wait. They keep reminding me every day, Dad, when is the trip? When are we going? And stuff like that. So that would be, I think that would be the highlight for me this summer. That would be the highlight for me this summer. The other thing though is like, a lot of when it comes to music, what's the soundtrack for the summer? What do you like to listen to during the summer months?
For me, uh, things have changed with me as I've gotten older because when we first came to the States, it was, of course, during the time of like R&B and
Hip
hip
hop. Yep.
hop and
Right.
all of that. But then as I've gotten older, kind of moved away from that. Where sometimes my brother he lives in the city and you like, hey, do you know this like artist? And for some reason, I don't know why all these people, everybody will have like young before their name or little, little days or young days,
Wow, wow, yeah, definitely, yeah.
little person and then young
Yeah.
person. Yeah, sometimes he would ask me like, "Oh, you know this other rapper or this?" I'm like, "No, I don't know who that is." But since I moved away from that genre, I listen mostly to like Afrobeats,
Hmm.
African music, and then African gospel. So those are things that I listen to. But I don't have like one single soundtrack that I listen to. But I'm more of a energy type of person. So if I'm listening to music, not really for the words, but for like the rhythm and the beat. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like something that's upbeat, almost like soca, like that type
Yeah.
of like
Hmm.
Caribbean vibe.
Right.
So
Hmm.
yeah, but I don't have one single soundtrack that I listen to. Sometimes I'll just ask Alexa play this, and that they'll just continue playing that genre of music.
You brought a good point, right? Like, so I remember my high school days, my college days, and then when I graduated from college earlier, it's like during the summer months, that's when you want to be bumping your stuff, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, right? Your stuff be loud as heck. You want to even your ears can, even your ears
Yeah,
can stand it, right? It's like, I said like bumping all the latest, hip hop artists and things like that, it's like you're going somewhere, you want the whole community to hear your
to hear,
music.
yep,
Yeah,
to your listen to,
everyone to hear,
yeah.
I mean, to hear that, right? It's like
Yeah,
high
we used to
energy,
invest in
yeah,
like sound,
yeah,
in like
yeah,
speakers to put in
definitely,
cars just so
yeah,
everybody can hear
yes,
music.
yes, yes, but as you, to your point, right, especially when you start having family now, right, certain genre of music, you say, nah, you know what I mean, I write it. So I, I'm with you on that. Afrobeats has become my favorite genre. And the thing is, right now, because you don't have any curse words in it, right? Even if there's curse words in it, it's sometimes, you know, the- it's something
Yeah,
my kids won't understand. Only I might
exactly,
understand it, but they won't
exactly.
understand it, right? It's like
Yep.
so it has become a favorite genre, and things like that. And so, every summer these days, right? That's my favorite genre. That's my soundtrack. I might find one hard one and just, you know, for me, I like to put music on repeat. If I like
Yep.
certain music, you're going to hear it from me over and over and over and over. My
That's
friend,
me. That's me too.
my
Yep.
friends will say, "Man, when you get tired with that one music," I say, "Hey, man, it's
Exactly.
like I like to bump. I like to do my thing, right? Just listen to one thing over and over and over and over." So that's that. But man, folks, tonight we are doing a summer check-in, right? How's your summer going? Peterson and I, having fun here with this segment. Summer so far for me, it's been kind of eventful, not eventful. Normally, there were some summers where, like last summer or so, like I traveled so much I couldn't remember. Like like my friends were saying, man, like I didn't spend like any time in Minnesota. I was always away, away. This summer's like I just feel like every weekend I'm here, right? It's like it's like every weekend I'm
Yeah.
here. So it hasn't been that eventful. So But as we're about to wrap up this segment, though, for the last couple of weeks remaining in the summer, what are you looking forward to so far? I know you got a few things coming up, but in terms of everything else, what do you wish, like maybe you could do for the remaining time that that we have to go this summer?
Yeah, if I had my way to say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is definitely what I want to do, I would have taken my kids to Liberia, even if it's just for a week or two.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
because
But
my
Liberia it's not technically it's not summer though. Is the rainy season. Do you is that the kind of time? Anyway, the thing, and before I let you finish your thought, right? The thing about it, when the kids are out of school here, is sometimes feel that that's the best time, right, to take them in that environment.
mhm,
But the downside to it, right, is it's rainy season on that side.
yeah.
How will you balance that? I guess.
Yeah, I didn't think, I, I didn't think of the weather
Mm-hmm.
phenomenon that happens there. But yeah, if because during the winter months or Christmas break,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's the best time to take them. But the time is so short
Yeah.
between the
Yeah.
time they come on break and then they have to
Mm-hmm.
go back. And even for us working folks, if you have to take time off during that time, I mean, you would take what 2 weeks, 3 weeks off. But yeah, for the next few weeks before they go back to school,
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to like spending more time with them and then doing those few activities, and hopefully we get a chance to travel before the summer is officially over, so that we can take like one or two family trips, and even if it's just to go somewhere for the weekend or for a few days, yeah, I would like to do that. So that's what I'm hoping and praying that it will come to pass, so that I
Do you
can.
normally just quick though, right? Do you normally set any summer goals, right? Like like in our community, like for me, right, is like you have, we have these extended large families, right? It's like sometimes like when I was in Philadelphia, or one of my sister, she live in the DMV area. She said, "Oh, my son is graduating next year, June. So
Mhm.
you guys have to,
You have to.
it's like they're probably trying to drive. But do you set like any goals for this summer? Do you like your family? Do you guys kind of plan activities? It's like there are some families that do, family reunions, and things like that, right? Like, do you guys do anything like that? Do you say any kind of a summer goals?
No, we usually don't set like goals for the summer, but what I usually do is to plan like a trip or two. And most places where uh, we have gone or we plan to go, we already have family there. So it's like using the trip is vacation to them, but it's
Mhm.
like, okay, we are going to like see family, and
Yeah.
so we use that time to also visit family and see friends and things like that. But as far as setting goals, like, oh, this summer we're going to do this or do that, I haven't, and I think that is probably what adds to um, the immigrant family not being able to do much over the
Mhm.
summer. All of these take like some form of planning. You can't
Yeah.
just get
Yeah.
up and, I mean, there are people that they do things off the whim, like, hey, I just found out I'll be free on Monday. Let's let's do this or do
Let's
that. But
go. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
with kids and stuff like that, you have to plan ahead, and I think it's a good habit to get into before the summer. Like, okay, you plan it out. What are your days off? If you're somebody that works on a schedule, to say, okay, this month, a month from now, my schedule is not up here, so before the new schedule comes out, I'm going to take a couple of days off if I have the PTO to put in, so that we can be able to do some things with the kids or as a family. So I think it's a good idea to. I mean, you don't have to meticulously plan everything like, oh,
every month, or
do
yeah,
it
or every detail,
month,
yeah, every
but
detail.
just have something jotted down so that at least you can have a focus point to say, okay, this is what we want to plan towards this either trip or this activity and things like that. So, because if you just leave everything on the table, sometimes it's like, okay, what am I going to do? Where do we go? What do we do?
And to your point, right? And to your point, I think I mean, I don't do it like to your point, like meticulously where in I sit and I drop down every details. But every summer, right, especially when school's about to over, right, my kids will be asking, Dad, what are we doing this summer? They know we love to travel, right? So
Mhm.
this year there was two primary trips we should have taken. A couple of trips we should have taken. Two were for family occasion. We did one
Okay.
for family, right? And then the other two, right? My oldest daughter really want to go to New York, right? For some
Okay.
reason, she wants to go to she wants to go to New York so bad. So the plan was for us to go to New York,
Hmm.
right? Just spend a couple of days and stuff like that. But as I said, we have another trip coming up in August, and I feel that's gonna be so pricey.
Hmm.
It's farther away. So I told them, so you know what? This year, let's just do one trip. Maybe like next summer, right? Let's see how things goes, right? Maybe we
Right.
might do a couple of trips. But to your point, right? You have to be intentional about it, right? And plan it because once you do that, you start saying, okay, you know what? Okay, how much are the tickets?
Hmm. Hmm.
Am I going to get hotel?
Yep.
How much rental car is going to cost me? How much do I need to put aside to what have you, right? And you can start using your own little piggy bank,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And start even maybe even try to book them in advance and start trying to
Mhm.
putting stuff aside, right? And trying to take care of them. But you have to be intentional about that. If you are not, sometimes you will never do these things. And that's why you have folks in our community where they don't really have experience of their kids because you wait if you are waiting for the moment to get rich before you do things for your kids, well, God bless you, right? God bless you, right? And stuff like that. So you just have to be intentional about it. Just plan it. And then once you figure it out, how much it's gonna cost, and how long you guys gonna go. It don't have to be you guys don't go have to go for a week.
Yep.
Sometimes just go for a few days. Like, I have a friend of mine, who live in Houston. When he moved in Houston, I promised my kids, I said, you know what? We're gonna visit Houston this year, right? It was one summer. Right after they got out of school, that's the first one of the first trip we took. We went there for like a whole week. They have fun swimming, doing activities. Went to the Galleria, Houston Galleria. My daughter loved that now so much. Yeah. Every time she go to Texas, right, she wanna go to Houston and go to the Galleria. But those are the things, you you don't have to do it meticulously, right? But you just have to, just maybe like target one or two things you want to do,
Right.
right? And I
Yep.
guarantee you will do your best to try to achieve them,
Hmm.
right? You will actually do your best to try to achieve them because, as I said, summer go by so fast. It
Yeah.
goes by so fast because the one thing in our communities, we have so much going on. We
A
have
lot.
graduations, we
Yep.
have weddings, we have family this, family that. And trying to juggle all of that, plus you got to work too, right? You got to work. You can't just, what I mean? Trying to juggle all of that and trying to find time, for your family, for your kids, is sometimes difficult. So I think the same way you plan for the year, right? Maybe you do a budget or you do some planning. It's also important to plan for the summer.
Yes, it is. It is.
Mhm.
Yeah, because like people say, if you don't have and the kids will actually be a good motivator because to your point, before my kids got out of school, my other son, he goes, oh, where are we going this year? Are we taking this trip? Where are we going? Are we going to see cousins? Are we going this place? Can we go here? And he's obsessed with like everything Japan. He's
Yeah.
10. He's like, can we go to
Hmm.
Japan this year? I'm like, do you think Japan is like going to Chicago or something? Like, he just said, well, can we go to Japan? And then I'm like, no, not this year. He's like, okay, then next year. I'm like, that is something that needs to be planned like maybe a couple of years ahead of time.
Hmm. Hmm.
You can just
Hmm.
get up and go to Japan. He's obsessed with Japan, and I mean, I would like to go to Japan too, but yeah, is the kids they will motivate you to actually move and do things because like they feel so bored when they are sitting
Yeah.
down. Even if it's just one trip a couple of trips in the summer, it's going to be really memorable for them, and
Yes.
they're going to really appreciate that. Because I think it was 2 years ago for the summer, it coincided with our anniversary, so we went to Miami, and
Mm.
up to now my son still tell his friends like, "Yeah, we went to Miami, we did this," and then this year in I think it was April, right before they got out of school, went to DC, we went to the East Coast, the DMV area. And he tells people like, yeah, we went, we didn't go into the White House, but I was like sitting next to the White House fence and things like that. So these are things that the kids will remember and they actually cherish.
Definitely, no. And those are priceless moments, right? And to your point about they become the pressure point. They become the reminder. That
Mm,
remind that reminder clock, right? Because yeah, when we going on that trip, I we still going on that trip. I we still so I would tell them, look, man, it's still far away, right? It's like it's not give me a break, right?
yep,
It's like
yep,
can we talk about the trip now? What are we gonna do when we get there? Well,
yeah,
it's not time yet. Can you are we still gonna do that trip? Are we still gonna go? Are we still
yeah,
gonna make it? And things like that. So they become that constant reminder, and sometimes become a motivation. It becomes a motivation, right? Because okay, if they are ready into this, they are
mm,
reminding me. I've already put it in their head. I'm gonna do it. I better make sure I
yeah,
have
guess
all my
what?
ducks in a row. I do proper planning that because when I disappointed the next thing, oh, you promised us we're gonna do
Yeah,
this,
of
do that,
course,
and we
of
do
course.
and we didn't do it, and things like that, and but yeah, but there becomes that constant reminder. So, well, folks, there's a 1 hour show. We have been talking, at you for the last 1 hour. It's been a great, great segment for sure, right? Today is July 8th. There's only like 3 holidays in the summer, which is Memorial Day, July 4th, and Labor Day. Labor Day is coupled a month and a half or whatever away, less than 2 months away. So obviously, someone is going by here fast. So tonight we have been, talking about how's summer, right? Summer check-in. How's the summer going so far? On your end, are you one of those that attending all those African barbecues, graduation, weddings, everything, you're not missing any G's, right? Or taking some time off for yourself, having that mental break, going somewhere, relaxing, having some fun. So it's been a great segment so far. Or Peterson, as we wrap up, what's the message you want to leave with folks tonight? What they can do for the rest of the summer, things they can, maybe like if they have not done anything. For folks that have not done anything, what it is that you want to leave with them, the remaining time they have left for this summer. What can they do?
All right. Yeah, it's been a great conversation. The time went by fast. And
Hmm.
thanks to everybody in the comment section for contributing to the conversation. But like you said, for the remainder of the summer, the few time that we have left, because out here in the Midwest, summer goes by fast, and I know that's how everybody feel. If they're on the East Coast, it'll be like, yeah, summer goes by fast, but for us, it seems like it goes even faster. So summer seemed like it just started a couple weeks ago, and already we are in the middle of it. So if you haven't done much in terms of activities or travel or anything with your family, especially if you have kids, um, I'm not saying that if you are single or if you don't have children, you shouldn't do anything. Still find time to do something as far as activities. If it's just taking a day off from work, everybody have a day off. Yeah, and if you do not have a day off, I'm telling you to go to your local EEOC and report your company, because that means they are overworking you. So I think it's illegal to work more than, I don't know, 7 or 8 days. I only work 5 days, but some people, it seems like they work like 10 days in a row, which I
Hmm.
think is legal. But anyway, they are remaining time for the summer. Find things to do, find activities to do that will not break the bank, and you'll be surprised that there are things that you can actually do that will be fun, and you
Hmm.
don't have to pay so much for it. So a lot of us immigrants, we think of like the price tag whenever we think
Hmm.
of activities or getting away or vacation. That's the first thing we think of is a price tag. And if that's the deal breaker for you, then start planning early. I
Yeah.
mean, if you trying to take like a trip out of state or go somewhere that is going to cost, if you buy a ticket within, I think it's like what, 3 weeks or within six,
Hmm.
it's almost like half the price of whatever that ticket will cost you to go somewhere. So plan something and create memories for life with your family, with your friends and loved ones. It doesn't have to be with your children. Like I said, it can be with friends, with other people that relatives of yours or other people that you just love. Just spend time with them and spend some quality time and de-stress. Get away from
Yep.
work, get away from your environment, and you don't have to go out of state. You can go within the same state. You can go, every state have some sort of like resort or little like uh, in town getaway type of
Hmm.
you can go to. So go ahead and get out there and have fun, create memories, and the time that we have left for the summer, make it count.
Yeah, definitely, man. I agree with everything you said, right? And the other thing I want to add, our people need to, go into like, like as something like you said, your wife said, like, your wife had every other weekend, off. When you have the weekends off, right? Most of our people look forward to maybe going to community events, right? Going to the local, going to family barbecue, going to this.
Yeah,
Look, we need to get away from these things. Honestly, honestly, to your point, as I said, like we need to get away from our comfort zone, from our environment, and just go and experience something different. I know each one of us, we have all been to these various barbecues, all this summer, but just get away. There's so many, to Peterson's point, man, there's so much out there to explore. You don't have to break the bank for it, right? There would be many months. Like even if there's so many you're in, like one of the thing about the Midwest, right? We have so many, we are blessed with like, you know, uh beautiful stuff like lakes. You know what I mean? We have so many stuff to explore here. If you're in the Midwest, even on the East Coast, so much stuff, right? It's like just get away maybe for a weekend. If you are single or if you don't have kids, right? Get away for a weekend and just go do something different. It
yeah,
will feel so relaxing. Will give you that mental break because like we work so much in our community. And most of our people work so much, right? It's like the weekend they have off, instead of doing something absolutely different, they go and hang out with our same old people, and have fun. And then before you go look, it's time to go back to
it's time
work.
to go back to work.
Yeah, there's not much, there. Take them PTOs, take those PTOs, utilize them. Summer is the best time to use them, actually. Summer is the best time to make use of your PTO. Because man, it's like the Caucasian, they do it all the time. They get away sometimes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, go and have fun with their family. They look forward to that all the time. And we are blessed to be in a beautiful country with so many natural beauties, so many natural wonders and things like that. We got to take advantage of these things. Get away from your comfort zone. Get away from Chicago. you know, get, get get away from Milwaukee or whatever, right? Get away from Minneapolis. Go somewhere, right? That you can. It's so relaxing. It's good. And it's good for your mental health. So,
Yep.
thank you so much, Peterson. It's been a great discussion as we always do here. We bring these things, educate our people on it. Hopefully, folks will start listening to us more and taking these cues, man, because it's good for our community, right? As I said,
It
some of
is.
us are so much consumed with so many things, we are not taking the time out to enjoy this country. That's why some of us we feel bored. Oh, America is boring. When people tell me America is boring, I say, hey, which part of America have you been?
Exactly.
Which part of America have you been? Take that time off and travel this country, and you realize there's no dull moment, it's no boring moment, it's so beautiful, and you just gotta what? You just got to do it. So thank you so much, folks. It's been a pleasure here tonight, my man Peterson and myself, and we are here with you every night, 5 days a week. Tonight's our first night back. So Peterson, man, it's been a great discussion. See you tomorrow or Thursday or
All right, sir. Good night.
we'll see you guys back here tomorrow for our regular business segment. And Thursday, we'll be back here as well. So good night and talk to you all tomorrow.
Good night.